Hi, good evening traders. We are on the 22nd of September 2021, 7:52 Indian Standard Time, and we had a mildly volatile day, flat close from the benchmark Nifty, 7 points just positive, restricted within a very narrow range, 618 on the top and 521, so little less than 100 points. High low range closing with just 7 points gain was more of a dull day, very mild intraday volatility, but holding well. The most important thing about today's trade was the fact that it did not slip after the 175 points bounce back that we saw yesterday. Remember, we had a sharp knock, we had a sharp fall, over 200 points sell off. The very next day was a nice 175 points bounce back, and today was a day where the index showed that it's not going to give away the 175 points gain. So, not gaining but not losing either is a sign of strength as of now. From various time frames, the trend is up. The momentum, though, has slowed down a little bit, but the underlying trend is still very much up. I was expecting that the index will slow down, the buying intensity might slow down, but as of now, let's see. The most important aspect will be this chart. I'm taking a look at the 75-minute time frame, and I was talking about the fact that the index over the last few months in its way up has rarely given us a complex correction wherein it falls in multiple legs down. I'm not expecting that to happen right now, but I'm keeping myself open to the possibility. The good thing about this bounce back that it has come from proper, valid, strong short-term supports. The quality of the bounce back is fairly well across, pretty good participation across, failing a bit from the banking pocket. In fact, if you take a look at the NSE indices on my right hand side, most of the sectors were in green, but the ones which were down was your finance, private banks, bank Nifty, and of course they have the highest weightage, which essentially pulled the index on the lower side today. Coming back to the 75-minute chart, we have one leg down, and this is a correction which it seems like has taken 50 to 60% of the fall. $1 million question is, are we looking for a break above or are we heading down? As I record this video, if I take a look at SGX, we have an 80 points move. So SGX levels, if they hold true till tomorrow morning, then we can expect a follow through movement on the upside. And if that happens, I think then this correction is going to get 100% retrace. So we can expect 17,800. So this time the index once again will prove that it was just a shallow correction if that happens. If the index has to correct, if it has to shape up as a complex correction, then this is a nice point of price from where the index can react. We'll see tomorrow morning what is the level of SGX. We'll see tomorrow morning how the index opens and behaves for the rest of the day. But considering that the bounce back, if you take a closer look at the nature of the bounce back over the last 4-5 candles, it's definitely slowing down. So important critical juncture, taking cues from the international markets, seems like we are heading up, which is of course a good news. And if that happens, then the trend will continue further on the upside. Issues, problems, a little bit of underperformance is coming in from the bank Nifty and the banking stocks. So most of them were negative today, and who knows, if the index continues on the upside, we can expect some bounce back. And few stocks in this pocket, like the private sector ones, are coming close to their short-term support, so we can expect some participation like we had recently. Amongst the sectors, media was a cracker of a move of 13.5%, followed by real estate, which is definitely very, very convincing. Mid and small caps was there, erstwhile beaten down. Metals is bouncing back. It's going to probably test this gap down, which is close to that 5,600 level for CNX metal. Auto, an interesting sector, is trying to turn around, is trying to give us a trend reversal. So this can play a role. We did see Tata Motors gaining some momentum in today's trade, but the others are not so good. If you take a look at the top stocks, well divided market. Kotak Bank, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank. So you get the picture. it was primarily the private sector banks, the financials, which was dragging the index on the lower side today. Rest of them were flattish. On the positive, Tata Motors is the biggest gainer amongst the top stocks. But the others, if you take a look at Maruti and M&M and others, are not as convincing as we find Tata Motors. Reliance also gives a breakout above this inside bar, small bar, and it has definitely moved up. And I think we discussed this, and this stock seems to be well poised for a test of 2480 and further up. If the banks support, if the banks turn around, then an important stock to keep a close look at is going to be State Bank of India. A very flat close today, exactly like a doji. Sharp breakout, equally sharp correction, back to its moving averages, back to its erstwhile supports. So it's going to be a very interesting stock to keep a close look at. Today's high, 443.5. So this is the futures price. If we have a move above this, then definitely we can see some participation coming in from SBI. Having said this, I think we should maintain this cautiously bullish approach, look for specific stock, specific sector, specific movements, and the market's providing us that. We should take it up and continue to trade bias on the upside. Let's see. I think tomorrow's close is going to be pretty important, which will probably give us a little bit of more clarity about the direction of the market. Till then, trade well, trade wise.